Imagine a weapon so revolutionary it could fly into the heart of enemy territory, completely unseen, a ghost in the sky, a phantom that strikes without warning. This isn't science fiction. This is the story of the plane that changed war forever. In the late 1970s, the Cold War was at its peak. The United States needed a game changer, a way to penetrate the Soviet Union's incredibly dense and sophisticated air defense network. The challenge seemed impossible. How do you make a multi-ton, jet-powered aircraft invisible to radar? The answer came from a place few expected, a secretive division of Lockheed known as Skunk Works. Led by visionary engineers like Ben Rich, they took a deep dive into some obscure theoretical physics papers written by a Soviet mathematician, Pyotr Ufimtsev. Ufimtsev's work suggested that an object's shape, not its size, was the key to its radar signature. The theory was that a plane made of flat panels, angled precisely, could deflect radar waves away from the receiver, rendering it effectively invisible. This idea was radical. The prevailing wisdom was that aircraft needed to be smooth and aerodynamic. What Skunk Works proposed was something that looked more like a bizarre black crystal than a plane. They called it Have Blue, the code name for the demonstrator project. It was so unstable that it couldn't be flown without an advanced fly-by-wire computer system making constant tiny corrections. Pilots joked that it flew like a falling brick. But it worked. During secret tests in the Nevada desert, Have Blue proved it could evade radar. The project was a go. The result was one of the most secret and iconic aircraft in history, the F-117 Nighthawk. For years, the F-117 existed only in rumors. People in the remote desert areas would occasionally see strange lights and hear odd sounds, fueling UFO stories. The truth was even more incredible. The U.S. Air Force was secretly training an elite group of pilots to fly a plane that technically shouldn't exist. The Nighthawk was not a fighter in the traditional sense. It wasn't fast, it wasn't maneuverable, and it carried only 2 bombs. Its one and only mission was to be invisible. Its entire design was a series of compromises for stealth. The engines were buried deep within the fuselage to hide their heat signature. The exterior was coated with a special radar-absorbent material. Even the cockpit glass had a thin layer of gold to deflect radar waves. Every line, every angle was designed for one purpose: to disappear. The world finally saw the F-117 in 1988 when the Pentagon declassified a single grainy photo. But its true power wasn't revealed until the night of January 17, 1991, the opening moments of Operation Desert Storm. As the first wave of coalition aircraft screamed towards Baghdad, it was the F-117s that went in first. Flying completely alone, they slipped through Iraq's formidable air defenses that the coalition had expected to be a major obstacle. The Nighthawks targeted key command and control centers, communication hubs, and air defense sites. Picture the scene in the Iraqi command bunkers. One moment, all their systems are green. The next, a precision-guided bomb comes through the roof. No warning, no blip on the radar, just sudden, devastating destruction. By the time the main strike force of conventional aircraft arrived, the eyes and ears of the Iraqi military had been blinded and deafened. The Nighthawks had kicked down the door, paving the way for the overwhelming air campaign that followed. The performance was stunning. F-117s flew nearly 1,300 sorties during the war, scoring direct hits on approximately 40% of the strategic targets, and they did so without a single Nighthawk being lost or even damaged by enemy fire. It was a complete validation of stealth technology. A new era of warfare had begun. The success of the F-117 sent shockwaves through military establishments worldwide. Every major power realized that their existing air defense systems were suddenly obsolete. The race for stealth was on. The Nighthawk became the direct ancestor of today's most advanced aircraft, like the F-22 Raptor and the F-35 Lightning II. It proved that controlling the electromagnetic spectrum was just as important as controlling the skies. But the Nighthawk story also has a poignant chapter. In 1999, during the NATO bombing of Yugoslavia, an F-117 was shot down by a Serbian surface-to-air missile. It was a stark reminder that no technology makes you invincible. A combination of clever tactics, old equipment, and perhaps a bit of luck had found a chink in the armor of the invisible fighter. The invincibility myth was broken, but its legacy was already cemented. The F-117 was officially retired in 2008, replaced by more advanced and versatile stealth aircraft. But it didn't just fade away. In a testament to its groundbreaking design, many F-117s are still kept in flight-ready condition, occasionally seen streaking through the desert skies as test beds or aggressor aircraft, training a new generation of pilots on how to fight the ghosts their predecessor created. The F-117 Nighthawk was more than just a plane. It was a paradigm shift. It was the physical embodiment of a radical idea that turned the art of air combat on its head. It proved that the most important fight could be the one the enemy never even knows is happening. An invisible fighter that reshaped our world, leaving a legacy that remains visible in every advanced air force on the planet. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into aviation history. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Let us know in the comments what other legendary aircraft you'd like to see us cover. Until next time, fly safe.